And hello, welcome back to the stream. It's your host Marley Startled, and oh god, it's very loud. Huh. And we are going to be playing today a bit of Humankind, a 4x strategy game much in the vein of Civ, where you play as a civilization from a nomadic tribal period all the way to the 21st century. Along the way, you'll be competing with other civilizations in order to get the most fame through achievements and effectively winning the game by being the most famous or most the civilization that's achieved the most in history. Primarily, I found this game rather. How long have I actually played it for? I played this game for 5 hours, and I found it to be underwhelming. I'll be honest with you. I went into it thinking it to be very much like Civ, just a different paint of Civ, where you can sort of specialize your civilizations. But actually, in terms of gameplay practice, this doesn't actually occur, and you end up being an all-rounder, just trying to get as many stars as possible. There's some very big gripes I have with the game, but we will go into more detail about it through each stage of the game. I think it's probably about 7.5 out of 10. It's probably not as good as Civ. If you wanted the same sort of gameplay, I'd go play Civilization instead. But it's still makes a nice breath of fresh air and allows for a bit more of a different style of gameplay. Whereas with Civ, you can turtle a bit and specialize and become the militarist nation of the game or the scientific nation of the game and achieve the victory through scientific victories or that sort of thing. In this game, you're forced more to be as quick as possible and to get to the next civilization as possible, which is a bit underwhelming. But without further ado, let us play a new game. So we're going to change the settings, reduce our competitors down to 4, just for a small game, have the world down to normal, world shape custom, continent average, standard, land percentage 40%, number of continents. I'll have this on random. Have it on random. New world, yeah, why not? Islands, yeah. So the first thing, of course, is the game rules. Very good. There's a lot of detail. And you can do a lot of settings which you can get wallowed up in. But if we put this onto regular and let's do a general setting for normal, we should be fine. So with the race options, you can see how long the game goes on for. So 450 turns is probably pretty good, but 600 turns is probably the best because in my previous gameplay you would just end up very much behind, and you never actually get to the 21st century. There's a very big problem of civilizations getting too far ahead, which of course becomes very difficult to stop. So we'll do this on Metropolis, which I think is like their sort of medium difficulty, and we'll leave it at that. Maps, you've got none selected, and content none selected. So we've got 3 competitors. You can select the settings on the competitor. AI persona, all that sort of jazz. But if we change these to random, there we go, random, 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 and we'll see what happens. Of course, each leader has their own personalities. Still, we'll continue on now. So initially, me and Dual Threat were going to be playing a co-op game with this, but I found that the game was probably not worth the amount of money to spend on it, and we would probably only play it once. Also, the multiplayer is a bit buggy right now, watching other people's streams, and so it's not a good idea. I prefer to save the money. I've got a bit of buyer's remorse on this, but it's not bad. It's just that there are other alternatives on the market which will scratch the itch and have more depth and detail.
Our universe contains infinite stories, most of which are about...
Yeah, no, I've done that.
However, on a small damp rock, there is a story that bears a second look. It's your story. But the first 4 billion years or so mostly concern amino acids. Not much of a page turner. But then, over time, the amino acids bond together and things start to get interesting and a bit
Get
dramatic.
back in there. Get back in that sea. You don't want to see how all the world turns out.
A certain subspecies of hominid discovers that you can do more with a sharp rock than annoy your little brother. Tools and weapons are invented. The hominids begin to cooperate. Fire becomes a servant rather than an unpredictable force of nature. They learn to tan the skins of animals for clothing. They learn ways to record and probably exaggerate their adventures. Eventually, these tribes learn to build shelters and immediately hold the first barbecue parties. This is the dawn of humankind. Struggle and cooperation have been rewarded. The Neolithic era draws to a close. The whole world beckons. This tribe has come far, but the rest of their story is your story. You are the one who will build them into a great civilization. How far will you push humankind? Across the world, nascent societies are taking a deep breath, looking across the landscape and preparing for greatness.
I got scroll speed as an option. No, okay. So here you are. You start as a Neolithic tribe. Your objective is to get into the next period of the next era, and you can do this by growth, getting a large population, getting more knowledge, or hunting. Now, in theory, this should allow you two options. Either A, you can try and do or get as many stars as possible in the nomadic tribe period to give you that extra boost for the end game, or you can rush to the next culture. Primarily, it's always better to rush to the next culture, and it's really bad right now how far you get left behind if you don't build a settlement and colonize as soon as possible. And it's almost like you end up with a disadvantage. You'd be so far behind that you will never be able to catch up with the AI. This is very awkward. Whereas a Civ, you had this sort of similar issue. If you built a settlement in a bad place, you end up at the start rather contained and rather difficult to progress. But on this, it's like on steroids, and so the early game is extremely important. So here's our little tribe. We have our tribal leaders, and we can set what we want to do. So we're going to go auto explore because the AI has got wall hacks, and so this is already a rather boring part of the game, which is unfortunate. And you can explore around, find details, and of course eventually you can put down territory once you get a certain level of influence. But initially, there's not really much to say about the first nomadic tribe period. It's just a race. Like the game should have been called Human Race rather than Humankind. There would have been less controversy as well, because it is a race to get as many stars as possible. So you're going to be running around doing as much as possible as every turn to get as many of these things before the end of the game. So here we've been given a lot of resources, things like that, and you're going to be doing this for most of the game, most of the early stage, until you get new guys. So I can put down an outpost now, but you want to put down an outpost really where there's a lot of food and for the early population growth. So for now, it's not a good idea. You want to do it sooner rather than later. But for now, we're still got plenty of time before we have to worry about that. So we have our first information: a world aflame. In the distance, a thin cord of smoke cuts up into the clear blue sky. Fire. Conning a few tribesmen, you run closer to the smell of cindered bark and burning pine grows stronger with each footfall. You spy dancing flames and suddenly find yourself on the edge of a settlement on fire. Many of the structures are ablaze, but even with the smoke and flames, you can see these abodes are marvels of craftsmanship. You're about to direct your men to put out the fires with loose soil when you see short, shadowed figures running away. Youths. They could become part of your tribe if you chase now, but that could mean losing the secrets of construction. What do you choose? So you can either have minus 25% on city defense, which is garbage, or you get a new army. Of course, as I've said before, it's a human race. You need as many pops as possible, and so you want that extra but man to do the reconnaissance and the research to get more people. So you can see this is a slightly better area because it's got +6, +4, +6, +12. So we're going to probably put down plus 10 plus 6 plus 12 plus 6 plus 10 plus 6. Probably going to put down an outpost here in these fields while we set these guys to auto construct, auto search. So it looks like we found ourselves on a little island, which is pretty good for us. I've lost a few games because I've never actually. The trick of this game is not to treat it like a Civ game. I've lost quite a few times because I think I can just turtle up and focus on science or production, but in fact you can't, and you would just end up getting mobbed. You do have to have a standing army somewhat. So this is the early stage. You would just keep on auto searching, auto building, and so on. Finding as much wild berries as possible. I've got a bit of a frame rate drop. Settings, video. Let's put it down to fast. And hopefully that doesn't break the game. Hopefully that makes it a little bit easier to watch. So let's keep looking around, making sure there's no other better option, but I think this is going to be the best option for us because that's at 12 plus 6. So in fact, that's probably the best one for us at the time. Now, because I've got the longest setting, it's going to take longer to get out of the Neolithic period, which is interesting because normally I played it on normal, but this is the early game. It's just build, run around, build, run around. So we're going to see if we can attack this deer, see what happens. You can do manual battle or instant resolution. I'm going to do none of those. I'm a bit scared, so I'm not going to bother doing that. I've got a new settlement. So the shift to fix the bows hasn't been easy for the tribesmen and women who'd settled in the outpost, but they've persevered and now thought of the land as home. When they discovered that one of their numbers has been hoarding mushrooms that he found in a nearby cavern for himself, it was a great blow to the spirit of the tribe. Now they want to banish him for his greed, but that would mean being deprived of the location of the mushroom field. So I can either do this retain to get that +2 tech, get rid of banish, which is garbage, or protect. So I'm going to do retain. Actually, yeah, retain for the extra 2 tech. So we've ended up on a sanctuary which we can burn, which we're going to do to get some more resources, and we've got ourselves a tribe legacy. Stand at a crossroads. For many moons, the tribe has trekked the wilderness, slowly, tortuously learning the secrets of its world. How the materials is hidden in the deep places and in plain sight might be fashioned to the tribe's advantage. How the beasts and plants of the land of the seas can be fruitfully harvested, and how myths and stories can graciously but inescapably give power over your greatest enemies. Other tribes. Now you must decide in what domain the tribe will truly sharpen its knowledge. The farmers, makers, or storytellers. Farmers, because you want that pop growth. But again, it doesn't really matter. So I've got you on... Yep. Can't it be... Oh, you're retreating, that's why you're letting the team down. You're still retreating? You know what, just do what you want, we'll come back around to that. And welcome to the early game. Getting curiosities and things to buff our tech. Looks like we're going to be ahead on the tech, which is good for us. And you see, already the AI has moved to the next culture. But we've also moved to the next culture as well, so we're rather lucky. So we can choose what culture we want. So these have already been taken, showing us how quick the AI can build. And the different cultures you can select. Now, the culture selection is actually very jarring. Unlike Civ, where you pick one culture and you go from settlement all the way to the end of the game, you can hop between cultures. So, for example, in this era, I can pick the Zhao, and in the next era, I can pick the Celts. So you go from having these rather well-built buildings and architecture to living in mud huts. This can be rather jarring from an RP perspective, and so they could have done this a bit better by having a monkey branch system based on geographic location. For example, if I picked the Egyptians, because geographically I'm close to the Babylonians or I'm close to the Romans, then the next era I should be given those limited options to go to either the Romans, the Babylonians, the Persians in that local area, and not go down to, say, the Middle East. And then you can keep leapfrogging that way. So, for example, if I picked the Romans, then the next era I could pick the French to simulate collapse. But sadly, that doesn't really happen. And in fact, you can just pick whatever nation you want. So I can pick right now the Zhao, and then the next era I can end up picking the Celts, and it's a bit jarring. It becomes a bit more gamey. So each nation has its own perks. For example, with the Zhao, you have higher stability on districts, a good early military unit, and a good building. There are also assets, which means that it's orientated around influence and diplomacy, and you can get more stars doing influence or diplomacy based feats. So the athletes receive more fame when earning athlete ever stars, and can earn money promoting patriotic works of art. They also have, each culture has its own perks. So Phoenicians, they have got the merchant trait, and so these guys get more fame if they do money-based feats. Then you have the Olmecs, which are assets again, and you can see different special buildings and influence. Nubians, which are merchants, and Hittites, which are militarists, which of course better focused towards a more military style of gameplay. So you get more feats if you do military conquest. Egyptians, which are very powerful early on because they get plus construction and they can build a lot quicker. Babylonians, which are more your tech guys, which are extremely powerful for research techs and can explode very early. So if we pick the Babylonians, for example, we can get the astronomy school, and we can get a special unit, and we can confirm, and we can move into the Babylonian stage.
Challenges of a young civilization. It's hard keeping up with the neighbors when they have the wheel and you don't. Humankind learns quickly that everyone contributes. If you're terrified of wild animals, you can grow lentils or catch fish. Tribes settle towns. Towns develop markets, and markets begin the exchange of goods, services, and most important, rumors and hearsay. This means more than just markets for the Babylonians. It's also the beginning of mathematics, astronomy, and a set of codified laws.
So now your buildings will change a bit and your units will change. You want to keep leaving units out to auto explore, just to keep traveling around. And if you can, you want to explode out with outposts. So we're going to keep on moving this way to see if we can get more outposts and things like that. So now we've got our construction queue. That outpost will eventually become a city over several turns. And this is why you want to put down an outpost early. And on the top left, you see the different stars you can achieve by accomplishing different feats. So this is where the next jarring thing comes with the game, is that you can't really focus on one thing in this game. You've got to focus on several things, whereas in Civ I could say I could be the scientist guy and build tall. In this game I've got to do a bit of everything to stay competitive and move to the next scenario. So because these guys are scientists, their bonus feat area is tech, so I can research tech to get more stars. You can also do expansion for controlling more territories, having higher influence, building districts, killing military units, and merchant stars, and of course agrarian stars. You can also do deeds, which give you some extra fame as well. So what makes this jarring is that means you can't just be a singular one, and you can't specialize your civilization. You've got to, you end up being an all-rounder, and you're trying to get as many stars as possible, and it becomes a bit tedious. But there you are. So we're going to have these guys continue to scout, and when they're ready, put down another outpost. And you see the AI is very quickly speeding ahead because we haven't really had time to progress. And if you zoom out, you can see our level of control. So because we've got an outpost here, I'm probably going to put down an outpost over here as well. Preferably somewhere good with lots of food and resources. That's not too bad. And we'll keep on going. So one turn away from becoming a city. See the special ability here, Collective Minds. You can select it on the city and all production will go into science. And shall I destroy this outpost? It's a bit too late now. Probably should have put an outpost here, but there you are. Here's what it is. So we'll turn this on to auto explore, and this is one turn away from becoming a city.
Building an outpost, claiming territory is this easy.
Now we've created a city, we can start doing production and building stuff. So we can start building districts, things like that. So we've got to evolve outpost into a city, and that's when we can start doing things. Up on the top, we have your pops, which you can then use to focus on a certain area. So you can focus on food to make more pops quicker, which then you can use to explode later on, or you can or you can of course focus on industry or focus on money, and that again leads to that sort of specialization. You want to specialize your cities, having one pop city, one industry city, so on, which becomes a bit tedious. So see on the top left, can set cities to collective minds, which gives old industry and money turns into science. On the bottom, you've got your society and civics tree, and you've got a progress tree. So of course, if you open up the technology screen, you can go very wide. I tend to just focus on the early ones and just like pick the quickest techs. But I suppose you can do things differently. For example, you can rush harbors and that. But I just tend to do, I don't know, calendar. And when the soonest tech pops up, I'll focus on the next one. So here we are. We can make quarters, make food. We'll make some food, +3, -5, +1, -5, +5. So we're going to build food here to get that pop up. And we've gained 1 population. We're going to focus on technology subsidies. Actually, we're going to focus on city growth. And then when we get any new guys, we'll start building out. So this is going to start building up the outpost, which we can then use to connect to Babylon. So a bit different from Civ. Instead of building loads of different settlements, you can build outposts, which you then can connect to form a wider district, giving the bonuses of this area to that city. This is quite unique, but the limitation on this is, of course, you limit the level of growth and you limit the diversification of your research. So we're finding curiosities, things. You always have a few scouts on auto search, things like that. And we're going to keep on claiming territory as soon as possible. But this is a pretty defensible area. I'm quite happy with this early start. But yeah, this is again one of the things I think is limiting in the research tree. Instead of like focusing, instead of like you can focus on full militarism, it's more productive to research. Oh, crap! Thank God. To research the shortest one and then eventually keep leapfrogging down. Sadly, I haven't got enough money to build up any further. We've got a few mammoths and things like that, but nothing too bad. So I need 140 to make a new outpost. So we're going to be holding up and waiting. But this, you can see, be very compounded. If you lose a unit early on, you can really be gimped because you need people constantly exploring, constantly looking for things to keep upping your fame. As you can see, we are third. So it looks like someone else is already starting to get ahead of us, but it really is time sensitive. You can't, every time's got to be spent doing something, whereas in Civ you can turtle up for a bit and still have an impact, whereas in this game you're constantly having to move around. So we can now do science research, but we haven't got really a large amount of pop, so there's no real point doing it. It's very important to keep guys searching around to find more money, more tech, so you can beamline ahead. So as you can see, this outpost is now ready. We can now connect this outpost to our capital, which will give us a bonus and bonus control of this area, giving us more food, etc., etc. Or we could have turned that into a city instead, if we so chose. See, the early game Babylonian is quite a slow start. You are going to take it's going to take you a lot of time to build up. Whereas Egypt is very powerful. Again, one of the big issues is that there's some very OP civilizations at the start, which I think some people in multiplayer have to be banned because of how powerful they are. So we researched our calendar, allowing to do granary and artisan quarters, which allows us to extract luxury resources from the local area. This is quite good for us because that means we can, say, for example, start building up on these tiles, which are stone fields, to give us that extra production. But our limiting factor right now is sadly pops. Pops are letting the team down, so we need to explode out of pops before we do any of that. So on to the next research tree. Of course, the next research tree, again, you want to pick the earlier period. This will give us lumber yards and archers. So we're going to pick this. Or we can do writing and get the feat early on, which is up here. If we go to show deeds, you can, for example, get extra fame from doing these first. So our guys will keep on going around. It's going to be more of the same. I wonder if we can buy construction. No, we can't. Can we put down a new outpost? No, we can't. So the early game is pretty stagnant right now. I'm even tempted to put more into food, but it's not really worth it. So we've got a new guy. I'm going to put this guy into research. Because of course, if we are a research nation, it makes sense to buff our research. Sadly, oh, I can put down a new outpost. So if we put down, say, a new outpost here, let's give us 8 plus 7, 4 plus 15. I think we're going to do here for 8 plus 7 and connect this to Babylon. And then the next outpost we make will be a city. But it looks like we have our own island here, which is very good for us. Which is actually very good for us. So it'll be ready in 12 turns. We've got 200 points. We can finish building the farm,
The first emblematic quarter.
spending money,
It's
which
a
we're going
symbol
to do.
of power and a lasting memory of this era. Go ahead, be smug.
I'm going to keep on building these up. Building up our special areas. Even though we should be researching tech. But the problem is you feel like you should be specializing, but it's actually not in your favor. You want to just keep being as general as possible.
Off we go.
So we researched carpentry, which allows us to clear forests, build lumberyard, and build archers. I feel like it's always been better just to do the quickest research first, and then go up from there to keep an all-round nation. So we're at the edict. So what is an edict? So civics or edicts help you quote-unquote specialize your nation. Unfortunately, we don't have any civics right now, and so we can't specialize. But primarily, if you can. It's a really basic way of doing things, and I'll go into more detail. So we've got to wait until a civic comes up and appears, which again is a very RNG based. But once you do get a civic, you can specialize. But again, it's a very bare bones way of specializing. It's not. It's a bit disappointing. So we got 13 food per turn, that is good. We've still got that science growth, which is good. Can I build a new outpost? Yes, I can. So this outpost is going to go here. Because there's a city, well, because it's a pretty good spot, I'm going to build a city there. So research domestication, we're going to move on to city defense. We've got a new city built, and these guys can now go on to, well, a new outpost built, auto explore again, just to pick up all these anomalies, which again is very important to do, so you get more points, more money. More money allows you, of course, to quicker build, and so on and so forth. Sadly, it's very bare bones, the building, but hey ho, it is what it is. So here you go, I can build this. That makes things quicker for me, or I can spend money on building units, which is not a good idea at this stage, especially because of the I'm on an island, so I'm going to be pretty left alone.
Time for your first battle? I bet you're absolutely dying to see how your fighters handle themselves.
So I'm going to retreat because there's a bear. And if I lose that unit, I'm going to be very gimped, because if you lose that unit, you lose that ability to scout and get more points. You lose that ability to scout and get more points, then you've got to build a new unit, and a new unit costs pop. So if I have to spend one pop, I get gimped early on in the early game, which is not good. So you don't want that to happen. City defense has now been researched. I can't retreat, so these guys have decided to retreat back into the bear. So I'm just going to instantly resolve this and show that now I've lost a scout, which is not good. So that's me gimped now. So we can now put another guy in here to get 11 turns to get a new guy, which I'm probably going to do, or I can go down here to research tech. We're going to do a balanced policy, and then once we've got all 4 filled up, we're going to put some more into science. But yeah. So I'm not going to build another unit, I'm just going to wait for this to become a city, and then I'm going to build a unit from the manpower produced here instead. But rather irritating, to say the least. Very irritating. I don't know where my guy is. Oh, he's over there. And you've got 2 turns away from Petra becoming a big boy. Gonna spend money again, always spend money early on. So I got a new population. We've still got plenty of food, so that's not a problem yet. That's not going to limit our growth. We're 1 turn away from creating this. Where's our army? Where'd it go? There it is. And we've gained a population of Petra again. So we can turn Petra into a city after we get 320 influence. That's what we're going to be doing. I'm going to research fishing now. And we're going to keep on trying to stack up the research to get those stars. But I believe we're behind, so hey ho. So I can claim a wonder. I don't want to claim a wonder because it's going to put me behind. I want to instead build a new city. And once I've got this whole area located, we can start going from there. So this is the equivalent of a neutral city. You can eventually get them to like you and absorb them into your empire. But initially they start rather badly against you, so you want to spend money to get them on side. Low level distress, they can attack you, invade you, take your resource. Well, generally just be a pain in your ass. Once you get to the higher level of influence, they'll stop attacking you, and so on and so forth. So you've got to spend either attack them to take their territory, or you use gold or influence to get them on the side. As it stands, because we're not really in a position to piss these guys off, we're going to let them wander around our lands doing as they like until we can get them to like us and we can build a new city, at which point we can try and absorb them into the fold. The building options are very basic, so of course you can build further infrastructure, which of course will give you +2 food per farmers, things like that. So just give you general buffs, or you can build buildings or districts, which again give you very general buffs. This area is sort of like a bonus area. It does not much cost, but here is the sort of the geographical area where you can expand. So for example, this doesn't take land, this does. And of course it takes time to do it. I tend to find that apart from the special building you can get per period, it's a rather dull affair. But again, civ building is rather dull as well. So is this ready to become a city yet? Yes, it is. So we'll turn this into a city. With this one city, we'll use it. We'll recruit a new guy in 12 turns, and use this guy to go around scouting. In the meantime, these guys can build whatever they like. And we can carry on. So, because we spent money, they're slowly getting to like us and they're no longer going to attack us. But we want to get to the end period with friendly when we can start to absorb them. Now give us that extra boost to our production. So, fishing research. Imagine not a single fish caught. This will allow us to build harbours and to build fisheries. Sadly, and this has also given our first research star. It is very much like a race. You want to get as many stars as possible, so specialization is bad. Right now you're thinking, well, why aren't you focusing more on science? Why aren't you focusing more on military? Why aren't you focusing on more on construction? Because specialization gimps you. What you need to do is get a wide amount of stars as possible, and you can do that. So I'm expanding excessively, I'm building excessively, I'm doing as much as possible as early as possible to get to the next culture. So here we go, we got a new event. Zero is a concept of incredible power. A philosopher from the intellectual quarter of Sipar convinced you and the rest of the court in an astounding demonstration where utility became clear. Large numbers could now be easily handled, and calculations could become much simpler to reckon. Vital aspects in everything from managing vast harbours projects to undertaking simple transactions. It could revolutionise trade, but can the Empire's people understand? A trial is needed. Who will be the first subject to prove its value? So I can either do overproductive, bountiful, or moneylenders. Let's do overproductive to increase speed. And then we'll do masonry and carry on. Because there's no one else competing with me to get this guy's attention, we're not going to be struggling too badly in terms of absorbing them. But it's a very basic, bare bones way of influencing nations, which again it feels very much like this game to a T. Everything is basic. So we build a new area. We're close to getting building stars and expansion stars. So what we're going to do now is we are going to build a harbour, I believe. Actually, no, because harbours are garbage. None of these have particularly good food, and they're going to take 21 turns. So instead, let's build us a astronomy house. +3, +3, +3, +3. And then we'll use that to bolster our science. So we've got our new civics. Let's go to our details and show what civics do. So a civic is a way you can quote unquote specialize your nation. So here we've got founding myths, by what right do we rule? We can do divine mandate, our supremacy is ordained, or we can do natural right. This is a bit a flavor text, but actually what does it achieve? So it will start moving us towards progress, which will give us +5% science on city or outpost, but +5% and +5% stability on cities. Or we can do the opposite, and this will take us down towards tradition, which will take us +4 faith. Sadly, faith is garbage in this game, and so it's not worth having, and you want to move towards a science. Of course, this is very different from the Civ way of doing it, because the Civ way with religions and things, it felt like there was more you could do about it. You could specialize. I'll give you a bit of an anecdote. So when I was playing Civ 5, I was playing with a friend, and I made a new religion. In this religion, the more followers I got, the higher stability I had in my nation, and the more money I'd get from my nation, and the lower stability other nations would have because of my religion. So what I would do is I'd make a profit, go over to my friend's capital and convert all their people to my religion. That would cause them to get lower stability and give me more money, and it was an indirect way of gimping my team or gimping my friend and attacking him via non-traditional means, and it was funny as well. In this case, religion is nowhere near as in depth, there's nowhere near of alternatives, and in terms of civics, I suppose Civ 5 is equivalent. I know I've never played Civ 6, but the last Civ game is Civ 5, so I'll go off Civ 5, would be politics, so like unitology, communism, freedom, or order, communism, freedom, but then again, the bonuses you got from those different politics or different ideologies were massive and allowed for massive specialization. In this, it's just a flat increase in basic stats, so you can't specialize very much. So it's almost a bit underwhelming, a bit uninteresting. Also, it costs influence, which is problematic because that means instead of focusing on this, I've got to focus more on so if I focus on this, I can't expand as quickly, which is a big undermining aspect. So to enact this, we'll enact a Civ policy, and this will give us plus more progress.
It's our place.
So you can see this is going to head us towards giving more 5% plus science on city or outpost. So with legitimacy, that's a new edict, so customary laws. What style of laws did the Empire use? Codified laws or customary laws? Again, flavor text. We either keep going down this way to get plus 10% science on city or outpost, or we head towards traditionalism. So why would you do that? It just forces you to go far right or far left, if you know what I mean. If you go far scientific utopia or far left traditional utopia, there's no point hovering around the base level of hovering around the center. I mean, yeah, plus 10% stability on cities, or you can go max science. And so even though it gives you options, it doesn't give you variety. It's like there's one option which is better from a gameplay perspective than there is than the other options. So you've got options, but you really should be picking this one option which is better. And so of course we can't pick this because we don't have enough influence, and so we have to wait now until we get enough influence. So we're going to build one more scout to keep on stacking up, and then we'll go do a growth policy after. In the meantime, let's build up our food. Oh, we've got a massive stack list of food we're going to be building up, so there's no point doing that yet. In the meantime, we can continue to wait, forever waiting. Might even move over here to get extra science. And because it is a race to get to the next civilization, which is rather disappointing, I can't really focus on edicts. I've got to keep getting as many stars as possible, so I've got to spend getting more territories. So I shouldn't be wasting influence on edicts. I should be wasting it on building more territories to get the next star. So I really should be going for this instead. And that leads to a sort of an underwhelming, undermining problem in this game, is that if you go into it trying to play it as a civ game to specialize, you're going to lose badly. You've got to go wide, and you almost don't really have much of a choice. There's only a really certain way to play, and that's building wide and mediocre as possible. So we have a new edict here, or a new fate of 3 cities, which we can go to our edict tree and give us more bonuses. But it won't give us stars, so we need stars to keep on progressing. Now, how it was solved was that sometimes it was counterproductive to progress too quickly, and you want to get as many stars as possible in one era. That is just a barefaced lie. You want to be progressing as quickly as possible to the next cultures as soon as possible, because they give you more bonuses, and more bonuses, of course, means you can grow faster. And so, although this game gives you the illusion of choice, perhaps you want to stay in the Babylonian area a bit longer. Actually, there's only one efficient way of playing, and that is going as quickly as forward in history as possible. Which is a sad thing. And of course, some will be saying, well, actually, you can just get 3 stars from focusing on science mildly, but sadly, 3 stars won't get me out of the next era. So you need to go wide, painfully wide. So we've almost got our new scout, and we've got our masonry researched. So we're going to pick the next shortest, which is bronze working. Here's the next gripe of the game. Some important resources like bronze are quite hard to come by in some games. Again, this was very apparent in civ games. Oh, we've got a population loss, so that means we need to shift our pop to this. And we need to build more of these. And we'll carry on my train of thought shortly. Actually, let's build infrastructure. That'll give us plus 2 food per fellow. How long is that going to take me? 12 turns. And so, whereas in Civ, of course, if you didn't have bronze, it was a minor issue, then you get to the next stage, or you could trade out. In this, if you don't get bronze, because the AI can be quite aggressive, you can end up getting smashed rather badly, which is really bad. And so the lack of natural resources or in your area can really set the tone of your game and lead to an early fail, and you might just have to restart. So we can create our new religion. Like I said, it's compared to Civ, it's very bare bones. So you can do polytheism or shamanism. Let's do polytheism, why not? So here's your religion. You're converting. Who's got the faith and who hasn't. You can change your state religion if you want, and you can go to the tenets. So these are the different tenets you can pick to increase your religion. We're giving you different bonuses. For example, you get plus 5 science, plus 2 stability, plus 25 experience, and all the way up to number 1. which is garbage. Like, well, it's not garbage. It's bare bones. It's bare bones compared to the more in-depth the alternatives you can have in Civ 5. So we're going to put down a food here, another outpost, and we're going to keep on exploring now. Keep on searching around to get as much food as possible. Eventually we're going to have to go towards Navy just to get out of here. But until then, we're here. So we had a bit of starvation, which leads to which is as a result of not having enough farmers, not having enough tech, meaning that I've got to focus more on growth of farms now. Yeah, I don't care. Let's do all. So we got food. We're not doing too badly. Let's get rid of this. We're going to do granary next. That's going to take 10 turns. I'm going to do growth on here as well. Just keep on building farms just to keep us growing as much as possible, and then we're going to absorb this into our sphere of influence when possible. Of course, we can clear forests and things like that to get more construction or more production, if you so choose. So if we want to turn this into the manpower center and this into the industrial center, then of course we can destroy these woods. But you can see the lack of interaction here. There's a lack of options of what I can do. Sure, I can trade with these guys, yay. But it's very limited what you can do with these city-states. And unlike later on in the end game of, say, Civ, where you can come form the UN and get these city-states to vote for you by getting them to like you. In this case, everyone can do the same thing to the city-state and just absorb it. And once it's absorbed, it doesn't really do much else. So we're building food right now, sadly. Or we can buy out of population, which is again not very convenient. So we can go to our edicts. Now we've got 225 civics, and we can focus on independent peoples or mercenary armies. So how should we use other peoples? We use them as mercenaries, which will bring us towards world, which gives us +5 stability in all cities and plus food on city or outpost, or we can head down towards homeland, which will give us +5 stability and plus combat. So yes, you can to an extent specialize, but not as uniquely as other 4X games. So of course we can either do this or we can do that, and it's either or you can stay in the center and do 5% stability. Food seems to be the better option, so enact mercenary armies.
See if these independent people end up as shock troops, cannon fodder, or respected allies.
So we've done bronze working now. This will allow us to invest in copper, forge, and do other things. And now we can focus on writing, because as the time is as we've got better or we've started researching, the time it takes to research has gone down. In terms of research, we are now 4th. You can see we're slowly being left behind by the other nations, just showing you just how bad it can get. Once a nation does start to spike, there's not a lot you can do to catch up, especially because some of the civilizations are extremely powerful. So I can spend gold on here, or I can spend gold on here. I'm going to spend gold on here for that farmers. And over here, we're going to keep on building farmers at areas just to build up our pot. So this should be a civ now, and we can build a wonder. So this should be an outpost now, which we should be able to absorb into our sphere. Which now gives us 2 stars. But we want to keep on expanding. because we're chasing stars. You're not specializing or building geographically, you're chasing stars. That is your function, to chase stars. So we're going to send these guys down over here. To guess what? Build more stars. Oh, and we need to attach this, so actually we don't need to, that's a waste. So you can just keep on like auto-exploring. Animal magic. So we can do cats or ferrets. So this looks like this will head me more towards traditionalism, also head me towards science. So you want to go towards science. So it's, for all this flavour, it's nice to have, but after several playthroughs you're going to go, okay, which is the meta, quote-unquote, way of doing things. So as harvest season draws, common folk are worried, with many farms scattered across the empire. Last year, an infestation of rodents largely vanished, blah, 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 blah. You want to use cats or ferrets? Let's use ferrets. There you go. So next opportunity. Oh, we got a new era star, so that puts us a little bit ahead. We're going to attach this this region to us. And we've almost got a fairly good population as well. This is being built. I can't remember where I can build where I can find the construction or buying of wonders, quote unquote. There we are, unclaimed wonders, so I can invest in these if possible. But it looks like these have all been locked out. Wonders do give you perks, really nice perks if you're willing to waste an error. But they take time to build, so sometimes not worth it. So there you are. So this has been claimed by one faction, which gives them 100 fame and plus 20 stability, which is pretty garbage. We can do Pyramids of Giza, which gives us 100 fame, minus 25% district on industry cost, and plus 20 stability. Temples of Artemis. And Stonehenge. So if we claim Stonehenge, that's going to cost me 250 influence. And I'm going to have to build it, which is going to take time. So actually, I think what we should be doing instead is attaching this to our territory. And then next time round, we can build a wonder. So we're still trying to hard research science. We're still going up build styles, and we're going to bring up expansion. So you want to go wide. That's the thing. It's a completely different game. It's a race to go as wide as possible, as quick as possible. So our food should be no longer too much of a problem. I can start focusing on, say, science again. Yeah, we're still getting more money, and so we're going to start shifting this down. Ah, crap. Get that extra science, which will cost us 10 turns to do. Food growth, still going on food here. And we can either do this, which will take us down to the left or to the right of that civic, adapt or protect. And of course, we want to keep on going further towards science as possible. Normally you'd be doing a lot more in this game, you'd be expanding as much as possible, but I'm very limited because of the geographical location I found myself in. Once we get harbours and that, we'll start building up a bit more. So I think we've got enough food now. We're going to start clearing these areas to get more money, because more money means more growth. And we've got a new star. Because we've gone agrarian and increased our population. Going as wide as possible. And then once all of these are done, we can focus on, say, building a harbour, which we'll need later on to spawn naval units. Which we will build here to start exploring. So where should we be heading? So a lovely flavor text, but you want to pick one what benefits you the most, not flavor. It's just flavor. It's all wonderful text, but the options are only you pick the option which is best for you in terms of your edicts, and undermines you the least.
An enormous leap forward from mundane tallies of crops to recording the wisdom of sages.
So I think we research writing first,
the most powerful tool of all.
which allows us to
Now, things that one generation
to give us extra
can be
fame.
passed to the next via something more reliable than campfire stories.
Now we're speeding quite ahead because of this start, really. So we'll pick our next research, which will be the wheel, because of course we've researched reading, but not the wheel. And eventually the plan will be to absorb here, but we'll try and build a wonder. So we want to go all the way down over here to get that plus 10%. We don't want to go backwards, so we're going to spend. There you go.
Once you discover writing, you can literally throw the book at them.
Flooded lands. Yay. The Great Dyke was constructed in rapid time at your behest, and the deluge didn't relent, and we got loads of bountiful for 20 turns, so we're going to be growing very quickly. So this guy's going to go over to our science. We don't really care about money, we've got plenty of money in the bank. And over here, we're going to build some more science tiles. So that gives me +3, +3, +3, +3, +3, +5, +3. Why not? Before we end up going to the next era. Yay, new civic. Alright, new civic. Don't want to waste our civics. Why are we wasting it? We're trying to build wonders, aren't we? Alright, so we can claim a new wonder. We've got a new era star. Pyramid of Giza is probably a good one. We'll claim this and build the Pyramid of Giza. That's going to take 67 turns. And if to make it a bit easier for us, we can switch this to focus on building Pyramid of Giza, and we can switch this to focusing on the Pyramid of Giza as well. To reduce it down, to make it a bit quicker. That will take 40 turns. So we don't actually want to do that. So we'll have Babylon off it, and we'll have Sipar doing it, which is going to take 102 turns, but hey-oh. Oh, we're just not going to build it. We've claimed it and we'll build it later once we've built enough construction. New civic religious rights, yay. But we need to build a harbour to start exploring. Also, can we build science stuff? No, we can't. But these will give you stuff based on geography and things like that, which is pretty good. So, basic bonuses, grounder bonuses. Science. There you go.
Reaching the end of an ideology axis isn't extremist. Think of it as being focused, yes? Very goal-oriented.
So this harbour's going to take a while. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to build another science post, a science district. Stability is not too bad. So this is like gives you plus stability. A lumber yard. We'll start building up districts like that. But we're steaming ahead now, which is good. Well, I say we're steaming ahead, but actually we're not. So we can enter the new era, which we want to do as soon as possible. And here's the jarring thing. We were playing the Babylonians, but now if you feel like it, we can play, say, the Celts and go backwards in time by like 100 years. So the Celts give you +2 food, +3 food. These guys are agrarians, so you get more stars by growing your pop. Carthaginians are merchants, so you get more stars by more money you make. Greeks, scientists, so you get more money for science. And this is where the variety sort of comes to the end and the limiting factor ends. So I could, for example, say, all right, now I want to focus on the agrarian aspect. I can start playing as the Celts. But then I've gimped myself because I've been focusing on science for quite a bit. But if I start focusing on agrarian, I'm going to start limiting myself. So it makes more sense to keep on focusing on Greeks, where I've done most science-based production, and keep on going up that science tree, rather than start switching production. It also means that if you are late to the party, and you end up with only a limited amount of cultures you can pick, it's going to really screw you over, because you won't be able to pick a culture that synergizes with you. And so again, it's like the human race. You want to keep, it's not humankind, it's human race. You want to race forward as quickly as possible. So we're going to adopt the Greeks for more science.
As urban centers grow, both ideas and sewage are generated at a record pace. Arts and sciences flourish as military tactics and mathematical equations become as coveted as physical goods. Empires struggle to control these intangibles, however, as some might trouble their stability. New ideas lead to new strategies, and I'm sure the Greeks will spend time arguing the merits of them all.
This is still going to take me how many turns to build? Oh wait, I stopped building, didn't I? I cancelled that project, it was too expensive.
5 farmers' quarters for 1 city. Somebody is going down in history with the title of the Satiated.
So we're going to keep on going down science again. But we still got to keep building up, that's the thing. It's no good. +7, -2, +4, +5, +9, +9. Over here, we can pick a new civic. We would go towards... So we want to go towards world.
You're at the end of an ideology axis?
Yes, that's correct.
Well, there's something to be said for unswerving dedication to a cause.
And we research a new scientific tech. Philosophy, this will give us the research quarter and schools or erudite administration. So because we've picked the scientists, another science culture, we can get 3 more stars from doing science-based achievements. That's a bad set, that's going to take ages. This is a quick way to get troops up, but it's not worth doing. We can't expand anymore, so we need influence or building. We need building 3, so building 3, pop 3, science 3, 3, 6, 9. That's what we need to do. All part of the race.
The first to map the continent. Others will be after your boot designs and blister medicines.
I don't think I... Oh, yeah. First to map a continent, because we mapped this continent. Okay. Yeah, who cares? We still need to build this bad boy. Once this is built, we're good. So we're going to build this harbour. With money.
Your first harbor gives access to endless expanses of the vast blue seas.
And I'm going to build a
Great
ship.
voyages and discoveries. Should have done this ages ago.
And this will allow us to start exploring.
Debate and discussion are not the pastimes of the idle, but the actions of thinkers and movers who will touch every aspect of civilization.
And we need to start exploring so we can start colonizing. Leadership. If I go this way, this will give me +2 vision. If I start going this way, +4 influence. So I need to start going this way.
Most problems eventually yield to the onslaught of more brains.
Because I'm not going to do a lot of military stuff. Especially with this start. So we built our ship. Where is it? Where's the ship? So we'll start telling you on auto explore. To hopefully find us more land. I don't think this is a ship we can put troops into. And so the main effort of this guy is to look around. But just in case, we will send a unit over. Over here. I'd rather have you on, say, construction. I don't no longer need you, but you can stay like that. Army lost at sea, acknowledge. Looks like we've found ourselves another nation. Which is not good. Yeah, looks like the yellow boys, which are there, so I don't really want to go there. How's the construction going here? Are we slowly getting where we need to be? Yeah. What does this give me? Reservoir for more food, water mills, and aqueducts for stability. Means nothing to me, I'm just focusing purely on science. You're going to stay there. Go to snooze mode. Ah, here's a new world. That's pretty good. A few sandbars. That looks like a pretty nice, nice bit of territory to continue expanding into. So I've put this guy here. We still have plenty of food. Yes, that's good. Whoa, that's a lot of food in Babylon now, isn't it? I wonder if I can start switching the project now to... That's going to take 44 turns, that's going to take 25 turns, it's not worth it still. We've claimed it, but we won't build it yet. And this is going to build some construction quarters, which is nice for us. You're going to keep on hard researching. It's probably about time we start to exploit some of the natural resources in this area. I'm not building too large of an army right now because of the rather convenient fact that there is not a lot of chance of them invading me yet.
People possess sophisticated customs, rights, language, and beliefs. I do hope you're going to treat them well.
So we could get these guys on side, but it's not really worth it.
Their future may not be in their hands.
It looks like the reason why these guys have been gimped is because they're both on the same island, so that's working in my favour. Humanize, deify, humanize. But we will absorb this guy into our fold. Science, but actually, yeah, we're doing very well here. Fortifications next on the list. And I'm even tempted to build another ship to keep on exploring. How many turns? 3 turns. Yeah, 3 turns is fine.
So now we have the Huns as neighbors. Raiders on horseback.
The Huns, they won't be able to trade with me, so we're fine.
The world is full of new opportunities, is it not?
There's a crisis as well. Oh well.
Alone on new lands. Who knows what madness you may get up to.
Alright, where's this uninhabited continent? That's not uninhabited. That probably isn't uninhabited. So I want to go and move there as soon as possible. Can I get these guys on here? Yes, I can. So I'm going to bring these guys over here. Really aim to move over into that territory, and if I can move over there, I can make progress. So I believe this is the closest I can get to it. But hey ho. Don't want to use these because I want to absorb. Oh, it's going to cost me 2,000 to assimilate. I gotta wait until I can absorb this. -1 in 10 turns, so what does that mean? That means we need to build more food, so that's going to get put to one side while we focus on agriculture. On agriculture! That's going to be -1 in 47 turns, but that should be fine. How long is that going to take? 8 turns, we're good. Oh, I didn't make it. Didn't make it. I'm going to have to build a new pop and a new boat, new pop. Actually, we'll use one of the existing pops. It's going to be a nightmare to get over. Unless I can get these boys to be friends with me.
You have my ear. Tell me what you wish to discuss.
Oh, that's good. Neither army particularly likes us. That's fine then. Rhetoric. Just mass researching. How long? 7 turns before we starve. You're going to move over there. Oh, I found a Great Barrier Reef as well. Gives me plus 30 research. Looks like there's a uninhabited island here. That's really far away. Actually, it's not. It's right over here. But to travel over there, I'd have to build a harbour here. Or we've randomly got people. Somehow we've randomly got people here. I'm not sure why. We can just build a fortification and be done with it. +3, +12, +4, +3, +7, +5. That's pretty even. We go there. You know, the aim is to like expand as much as possible, as quickly as possible. So we are just going to have to move our way down here and hopefully cross into their borders. Granary, we'll buy that. Hopefully that will save us some time. Hopefully we'll starve less. No, we won't. So we need to go over here, and we need to go over here. Lost at sea. Yep. There's another one over here, and there's some warriors over here. I don't know why I've got warriors here. I suppose we'll find out. But that works in my favour regardless. I don't even know I was at war with the Huns, I'll be honest with you.
What fresh hell do you bring this time?
I just lost a lot of money, but I didn't even know I was at war with the Huns. And start trying to pay off that money then. Can I get there in time? I doubt it. Let's go back the way we came. Huns, how would you like a treat?
My mind with your vile chatter.
Open borders.
Things change, even leaders and empires. I have
Okay, so you don't want open borders then. Six turns to get this up to snuff. Wow, the blue guys are speeding.
The first to map the continent. Others will be after your boot designs and blister medicines.
Turn on auto explore and see if you can get over here. Only a couple more turns before we avoid a civil unrest and collapse. Almost done. Don't worry, we're almost done. Two turns to make that a state. There we are. It's back to snuff. And we'll turn this into a city. Focus on growth. Build entities, research points. Actually don't. I need farms first. There we are. Build these sweet, sweet farms. These guys still like me, that's good.
Reaching the end of an ideology axis isn't extremist. Think of it as being focused, yes? Very goal-oriented.
So we got one science tree, we need more pops and we need more districts. So that's what we're going to keep on doing, more pops and districts. Who's lost at sea? Can any of you get over here? No. So we can expand on the right, but until we get better ships, we're going to be stuck.
That seems to be a bit more humanitarian, though the folks back home might view it otherwise.
+2, +2, +3. Plus, yeah, we'll go over here. Wish you'd stop getting lost at sea, boys. But the aim is to fully colonize this area before they have a chance to expand or stop us. Population gain. A new star for building. Of course, we're going to build some more as soon as possible. And we're going to build an amphitheatre as soon as possible as well. So once this is done, we're going to build an amphitheatre for that extra influence. Amphitheatre followed by pottery workshop, I reckon. And then we'll keep on going. So I wonder if I can switch you now. If I get Sapar, how long is that going to take? 47 turns. It's still far too long to build. So exploit this next resource. Go construction. You're going to be my construction baby. You, on the other hand, are going to be my... probably be my construction baby as well, if I'm honest. +2, +5, +5 over here. We'll go over here for that +5 food. And no construction here, so we're going to start building an amphitheatre on this position. And then food. I don't really need food, so we're not going to bother. What's not going to take a lot of time. You got any rivers here? Not really. Barracks. Money. Influence? Influence, why not? And we can now go to a new religion, or we can do a new tenant. So +1 influence on mountains, +2 ability on rivers, +5 money on luxury resource deposit. If you build religious monuments. That's already been taken by the looks of it. Let's do reject luxury. Even though we're not going to be building a lot of stuff because religion is pretty garbage. That's 3 turns, so we got to wait. We're still pretty far ahead, which is good. I've stacked fame. Is that almost everywhere unlocked? Almost. So now we need to add you. Food. And then this will have this whole continent with the BRs. A new civic. Yeah, let's look at our civics. I'm going to do slaves, but I can't afford them because my influence is too low, so it looks like we won't be looking at our civics. +3 science here, not worth it. I'm going to do +3 science here. Instead, use these 12 points. +10 science. -3 food, -1. Go for science. For science. And we'll attach this to this guy. There we are. And that should make you bigger.
A permanent settlement on another continent. Quite the globe-spanning imperialist you've become.
I did my best. And this looks like they're slowly, one of our factions is slowly getting wiped. I think we had 4 factions in total, but one of those factions has been completely wiped out by the Huns. Food is still good, keep that population growing. Food is still good here, which is nice. And over here, we're making steady progress in our expansion. But the Huns have just wiped out everyone. Huns are one of the OP ones. I think their special ability is just like, they destroy everything. They can like clone units. Hopefully they move out of being the Huns soon, because I'm a bit worried about the Huns. They always are a bit excessively strong. But unless if they don't have a harbour, then they can't hurt me, so it doesn't really matter. Can I build a better ship? No, I can't. And plus, it's going to be counterproductive to my pops, so it's not worth it. You still like me? Yes, you do. And is it worth putting resources into this guy yet? 18 turns, not really worth it. Not really worth it. No. So I've claimed it, but we'll build it at a later date.
You're at the end of an ideology axis? Well, there's something to be said for unswerving
I haven't
dedication.
bothered building religion because religion is overrated. A new Era Star because of the science. Really stuck in that science because I've gone Babylonian. Science. Always science. Oh, it's like an unknown people over here as well. Can't expand any further. Okay. I really want to get over here, that's the thing. But unless this guy wants to do some trade with me,
Concerns you today?
I don't want to do that. In fact, I'm going to keep the Huns away from me. The Huns are fucking crazy. It's not worth it. It's not worth the risk.
The impressive Mauryan's science, faith, and culture. The only.
Hello, Marians.
In every sense of the question.
I don't really want to give you anything, if I'm honest. And again, you're aggressive, so... They're a hateful... yeah, I don't want anything to do with them. They can go away. And they have a navy as well, which is scary.
How do you do? In every sense of the question.
Well, time to start building an army. This is going to be our militarist place now. Where are we running out of food? Okay. So what we have to do next is we need to go over here and start building food. Or food-based activities. And then once we've done that, I think we have to build some stability-based stuff. The stability is also pretty bad. Looks like we've got some real nasty, nasty nations in our gang. Hate-filled.
With the proposition. Let us see what is possible.
Aggressive. Yeah, they're all nasty. Nasty boys. But we're rushing through with our stars, so it's not going to be too bad. As long as we don't die, we'll be fine. Solar.
You have reached the end of.
Yep, I know. Stop telling me off for being too extreme.
Of all the epithets other empires may use for you, wishy-washy won't be one of them.
Theatre's good. Should I do more tech? How's his stability? Oh, your stability's going up. That's fine. Let's keep building these. Sipar's not happy. Why is Sipar not happy? So we're going to push this to the front. Yay! You're gonna keep on farting out hoplites. You're gonna be my army state. So I'm also gonna need you to build a harbour on the inside because it's going to be defensive. That should make these guys a little bit happier. Anywhere else I can build stability?
This emblematic unit is a symbol of pride and power for your empire. Let's hope they're worth the price.
Hopefully. Hopefully. Where's my unit? Okay, he's there. So we're going to put our armies over here in preparation for the next stage. Have you disappeared? Where's our army? We got any more troops over here? We don't. We need to stop. Let's build a unit just to check this out.
Your empire becomes one of the giants, astride the globe. And what will you do with this power?
Because we're rushing this, we're just getting ridiculous amounts of fame. This is ridiculous. But you can see it's all about the race. You're just trying to push through as quickly as possible to get as many stars as possible. Like, I don't want anything to do with these guys because they're just going to stop me from doing stuff. So they're mutinous, so we're going to build a fountain. And we're going to build... That's it really, let's build a fountain. And I'm going to send these boys up over here to see what's going on. Why have these guys disappeared and no longer exist? Oh, okay, that's bad. I need to start focusing on construction. Oh, they just disappeared. It's like the FA just disappeared. Oh, I'll take that. Can I move soldiers into here to stop this from having too many problems? Yeah, a little bit. That works a little bit.
A permanent settlement on another continent. Quite the globe-spanning imperialist you've become.
Yep, that is correct. So you're going to build... Alright, you've built that. You can go on to auto-explore. Now that encampment has just disappeared. Oh, there's the last guy, so it was 4 players. So this looks like the last colony over here. The blue guys. It looks like they've had their own empire to piss about in. You're going to move back into this port. Unless I can upgrade you. Get back in here. Stop now. I'm going to spend money on this so I can get more stability. Which is gimping me right now. There we are, and this army can move over here, and hopefully we can get to that new world in the bottom left and just keep expanding. With that race to occupy as much territory as possible. Can I focus on you now? How long is that going to take? 33 turns. So if I go to Babylon and get, say, Sipar and this guy, it's going to take me 15 turns. That's not bad. 15 turns to build this. I'll take that. And then we're going to try and cross over to the next area.
You now have a city of 10 territories. That tiny first settlement is nothing but a distant memory.
Mm-hmm. Let's go. New world. Let's do this. Units in this army will be destroyed in the next turn, so no, not New World. Let's go back. Let's go back. It's not New World. You're going to go back and hide in here until I can upgrade you to actually be good at what you do. Babylon. I don't understand why there's so much on here, but hey ho, whatever. Should be on research. Always on research. I don't really care about money. Nine turns, that's fine. How's the... Alright, that's not too bad. And how many stars? Okay, we're not too bad. What do I need to do next? Either more research or more pop or more money or more buildings, which is whichever is the quickest. So you keep telling me you're lost at sea. You know what? Let's plunk yourself there. And you can just sleep. I sleep. How many turns? 6 turns. I can live with that. Hello, random mercenaries. Don't do anything stupid. Three turns. A random quadrille.
These are the renowned Celts. Whether or not their soldiers are naked, they are
Celts are hesitant. How about we do a non-aggression pact?
Treat me.
Hail, friend. I have a...
See if that works. You want? No, I'm not going to give you that much money. Fuck you. No one's got time for that shit. I'm not paying you to not attack me.
This is something you need to see.
Fine.
It's interesting. This choice.
We can do trade. And finally, we're at the next civilization. And a new wonder can be claimed.
the pyramids of Giza, the original construction yardstick by which all other projects will be measured.
So I can do the Statue of Zeus, which gives plus 20 faith, plus 50 stability, garbage. Oh, I'll take this for the tech. And if I change the project to get 2 boys on there, 19 turns, love that. And we can go to the next civilization. So we can keep going down to Greeks, or we can start expanding out to become Norse, out of nowhere, just become Norse for the fun of it. Militarists, which we don't like. Scientists for the Umayyads. Per alliances on all cities. Grand Mosque, harass. The English for agriculture, if you want to be a pop country. Builder. This is where we could switch to start building stuff. But because we've already committed to 1, it's not worth it. Merchants, no. Aztecs, no. Greeks, no. So it'll be the Umayyads will suddenly become a Muslim civilization. Why not? That's right. I didn't even know we were at war, if I'm honest.
How do you do? In every sense of the question.
Oh, we weren't at war. They just aggressively colonized here.
Wisdom and technical innovation
Oh,
from
no worries.
earlier eras bring humankind new knowledge, and we immediately use it to find new ways to kill each other off. Greater empires build more powerful armies, but brute strength may be defeated by superior innovations. It is brains versus brawn, with ever richer cities as tempting spoils for the victor. As far as innovation goes, the Umayyads were famed for mathematics and medicine. But I have to say that their cities as well were true jewels of civilization.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that as well. I don't want money, I want tech. So what do we need to focus on here? Merchants for money, we're not going to get that. Agrarian for pops, we probably will get that. Not military. So once again, we'll focus on science, agrarian, building. And maybe expansion, but again, it's you're trying to get as many stars as possible, doing whatever you can achieve as possible. +3 science per number of attached territories. Oh, this is great. And then we'll start farming our resources to get money. Actually start exploiting the ground here. I will say the change in soundtrack is nice. Like, depending on where you go. Okay, philology research, feudalism's next. We are slowly getting left behind on the tech front, so we're going to have to start teching up a bit more. Let's take a look at our edicts to see what's the best edicts. This will give me +5 stability or 5+ production. Or +10 money. I want to head towards the right, if I'm honest. There you are. There's my army of 3 hoplites that will hopefully keep you know who at bay.
I'm not sure what the proper adjective is, but it appears that you have been out-religioned.
Oh no, not out-religioned. We've got plenty of food pops, we're pretty healthy on that front. And we got so much influence, it's disgusting now.
You may treat them like loot and property, but they are still human beings.
Okay. Thank you for the lecture game. I don't really want to fight this, if I'm honest, but we're doing instant resolution. Hopefully we can
Wondering if you're a
stop any further bloodshed. Yeah, we're getting slowly left behind on the tech front, so we have to be a bit careful there. Be a little bit careful. You can sleep. I sleep. While we try our best to keep on mass production. Can I produce any more science districts? No, I can't. We are over popping now. This is the slippery slope where we get too big. We just got too lucky with a rapid expansion. But you need to do it in this game, otherwise this will happen to you instead. Let's take a look at our edicts. What does this give me? So I want to go towards the owl. Or I just stay in the center. Yay, feudalism. Next is war summons. And we've got Halicarnassus. So hopefully we can build a new one.
But I can't help wonder what sort of a sign it is when an empire spends more on the dead than the living.
Forbidden City. Notre Dame. Faith. So this will give me faith, stability, and fame. This will give me stability and fame. This will give me +1 food per faith. This will give me +1 faith per research technology. Is it worth it? No, it's not worth it. I mean, I'll claim it. I'll claim it for now. But we need to focus more on research. Research. Research, research. This guy over here. Your pops are fine now, so you can focus on... Nah, screw that. Exploiting more resources. And we'll use our excessive amount of money to hopefully build more. But I forgot how to build... I forgot how to build it. Damn it, just a bit disappointed.
With 5 research quarters, you're going to run out of questions to answer.
They can have that. I don't care about this. Population gain, which is good. Once all of these are exploited, we can go back to militarization. How do I build a... Where is it? I wonder again. There we are. We'll claim this, but he won't build it. Got to keep that research going. Maybe we can start doing trade.
Hail,
Nope.
friend.
It doesn't want to talk to us in the slightest. Oh, you guys.
Concerns you today.
Oh god, no. These guys hate us. So not Notre Dame. How's your stability? Not bad. We'll build this mosque again. Plus 9, plus 15. Oh. Plus 15 science. And the Celts have gone into the medieval era, so what have the Celts gone with?
You look different.
The
Haircut.
English. Okay, okay. Hopefully those two will fight against each other and leave me out of it. And keep going down the road. Let's take our time. We've got plenty of science. But we'll add learning anyway.
Reaching the end of an ideology axis isn't extremist. Think of it as being focused, yes?
Food is still
Very
good,
goal-oriented.
so I think we should focus again on science. And build some more science districts. New religion, plus 5 food and harbour. Less cost on civics. Oh god, of course that. Of course that. Science, science, science. But we are exploding in terms of, well, because we took that extra continent, we've effectively getting far too big far too quickly. But then again, so are those guys.
Knowledge, in a form that is codified and searchable, has become available to all. This is no small gift.
Can't afford a new tenant yet, so there's no point doing it. Once these guys are done, this will be our military base. It's the only reason we're exploiting all our resources first, beforehand. So once we've exploited all our resources, we will go back to military production.
You have unlocked seafaring. To safely travel the dangerous, hungry oceans. You can cause trouble anywhere you want now, and have a better chance of getting away with it.
Let's give that a go. Let's see if we can now get to that new world on the left. Hopefully it is a new world. And not just a meme. Can these guys get upgraded? Yes, they can. Upgrade, upgrade, upgrade. And you can chill. These guys can show as well. You know what I want to do. I want to cross over and get to that new world. That's the last resource exploited. Have we built our port? I believe we have. Did we build a port in the end? If I build a ship, can I build a ship? And then we'll find out if we can build a port. Yeah, I can build a ship. So we have built a port. So we don't need to build a ship. We'll get rid of that. We've still got to build a larger standing army just in case they do decide to do something stupid to us. 31 strength, 26 strength. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let's begin. Can we make it? Don't think so. I wonder if I can make it just a cog. Why did the English care about this place? Oh, I don't care what the English want. Then go away. Go away, English. Let's make it. Come on. There we are. New world. Hopefully fairly new. I like it. I just wish I could get over there. Let's start building construction areas. Right, I need to do one more research slot and then let's start building construction areas. +8, +8, +8. +13, I'll take that. +12, 12, +16, I'll take that. +20, I'll take that. And that's a load of low stability, but I need it.
Where have you been?
And our first... Oh, we got 2 arrow stars. What was our 2 arrow stars on? Building and something else. It's a little island, so it's not the new world, but it still would be nice to get a hold of. I turn these on auto explore now. Good. We can build more research posts, but I don't think it's worth it. So let's just build production. +20, I'll take that. +11, I'll take that. And then what's this? Law and a new edict. Army composition, let's see. Minus 30% on industry cost, which will take us towards here, which will give us plus land vision. Yeah.
This should improve efficiency and camaraderie, but it'll probably cause a lot of complaining.
We're slowly building up a nice acceptable army. 48 turns. But we are rapidly speeding ahead now. Money's great, but not really what I want. Nice bonus to have, but money's not my list of things I want. So we'll build a few full stack armies just as a protection against potential wipe, potential doom. Oh, I wish more science, more science. I'm not going to waste money.
As feudal structures prove practical for both farming and warfare, certain codes and practices arise that, ideally, ensure a fair and honorable society. A new independent people. And who are they? Time will tell if they are helpful, helpless, or history.
Where are these independent people? I want to take them. I mean, I want to show them the joys.
Will be an ally or an enemy, a barrier or a blessing. Their future may not be in their hands.
Where is this independent people? If I can see you, I'm going to deal with you. Normans. Okay, Normans. So you're done on that front. I think I am going to start building up a fortification process. Or not. We'll turn this into a fortress. So many little islands. If I only I could get over there. But I'm so limited right now because I can't. Oh, I'm so upset. So upset by my own inability to grow. How's the agriculture? It's not bad. Once we've finished building these research sites, we will continue on.
5 makers' quarters. It seems that someone took the phrase, building your future, a bit too literally.
Gotta keep building, bro. How? Damn, I'm so jelly. I'm so jelly about not being able to get over here. Right, this is the new world.
See it as a place of safety and a symbol of power. Only your friends know of the extensive wine cellar.
I'm so mold. Let me get to the new world. Okay, instead I found a lake, that's nice, but no value to me if I can't get over there. Actually, it is valuable because it gives because I've found it first, I get more fame. This is where we sort of are hamstrung now. We can't really do any more. Build a star, that's fine. Build this fellow over here. And we will add a Finai and Babylon to the project. Now take 19 days. Because that'll give me plus research, which again I'm looking for. Okay, we'll take this guy back. I was going to see if I could get over there, but no. Head back to the harbour. Look at all that new world. If I could get there, the amount of OP-ness I'd become would be ridiculous. New civic. Let's go to naturalized colonies. Oh no, I'm going to keep that. Let's go to land rights. Allows to claim, attach, and merge with money instead of influence, or plus. I'll take that definitely. And this will take me towards communalism, but hey, it is what it
Why
is.
should individual wealth and political connections determine the status of something as timeless as the land?
More population gain. Normally the game is not as easy as this, but because I've played it before, I just know you got a blob. You got a blob, and plus this is a 4 nations, not 6 nations game. You sure you guys don't want to trade anymore? You don't want to trade luxury goods?
Let us see what is possible.
Yes, greetings. I hope you don't mind if I stare.
Hail, friend.
That's right, buy my goods. Damn straight, you keep buying that shit. New religion. That's no value. Purge. That's valuable. Oh, I so badly need to get over there. And there we have it. We finally built this fellow.
An impressive achievement built at a time when scientific inquiry and growing faith marched hand
Plus
in
52 faith, plus 2 industry, and plus 40 stability. Can I build any more science quarters? I can if I wanted. But what is holding me back is science, so I need to build science quarters. Plus 14 science. Plus 14 science. Oh, well, why am I doing that when I can just bloody cancel that, and I can just build these districts? Plus plus 19 science. Stop building forts. They're not really that valuable. Burn the steel. And then we'll have the final star. Then we can focus on building and agrarian pop. Building and pop. What wonder to claim? I can claim Angkor Wat or the Forbidden City. I don't want to claim either. What I want is to find a way to get over here. Plus 16 food. Or plus 16 tech. Plus 16 tech. I've got food for days. This is not a problem. Come on, Normans. Where the hell are you? Okay, you can become the pop hell area. I don't see why not. You will become pop land. I shouldn't have a lot of pollution, so I don't really care. Plus 5, plus 5, plus 5, plus 13. Plus 10. Pop is where it's at. Growth policy is where you're going to be. Yay, new civic. Okay, but we can't use that yet. And what else to build? I can't build any more science, which is a shame. -4, plus 15. Well, if we're building districts, let's build districts. As I continue to wait in the hopes of one day getting over to the new world. That's a pretty big army, I'm happy with that. 2 big armies just in case, as a backup.
How do you do? In every sense of the question.
Babylon, what to build in you? I can build more, you know. Build more science stuff. But we are running out of stability, so we may have to start building some stability stuff now. Yeah, build some stability stuff. Why not? Have we got all 3 stars on research? No, not yet. Oh, sweet, sweet new world. Likewise, oh, we're ploughing ahead now. No, yeah, so you really just got to keep rushing forward. Otherwise, the AI would have got on this territory and then it would have expanded and it would have been a fucking nightmare. You can have an interest, Aztecs, but I don't care if you have an interest. Just stay away from me. New research. Meaning that I can start upgrading stuff again. Apart from you guys, who I believe are too far away. You fellows, can you finally cross to the next area? Yes, I believe so. This will be our island. This will be Newfoundland. Sorry, old boy, this is my territory now. Get the fuck out. Pops, because I want an agrarian focus to keep popping up. There we are. We're finally here, Newfoundland. This belongs to me. Don't think about it.
The world is full of new opportunities, is it not? Hear my proposal.
Can we do this again? I didn't want to do that. And I'm going to keep on going. That's going to be a city in itself, and then I'm going to keep on going this way.
You have my ear. Tell me what you wish to discuss. Things change.
Farmers' quarters, yeah, keep popping up. The new world! My world. Oh, and you're going to be my friend. Because I'm going to eat you and absorb you into my territory. So show civics, scientific facts, plus 5% cities or plus 5 faith and plus stability. That one.
Indeed, there is a difference between inspiration and investigation.
We need to build more agriculture. keep our pops growing. And this place is going to be ready in 10 turns. 14. Yeah, you're going to plug yourself there. Food is still pretty good here. But just in case, we'll focus on food here as well. Hello, friends. Oh god, retreat. They weren't friendly. This is what the Aztecs should have done. A new era star, of course, because we've increased our pops excessively, and we're almost towards the next era. And we've got smashed completely. Well, that's alright, because we've got a base of operations now. We'll absorb you in once we get 9,000 influence. So, not anytime soon. Science for days.
Hail, friend. I have a
I'll
notion
accept this because you can give me more money. You can sleep because I don't need you. 4 turns for you to be useful. And we can keep on pushing on. Yeah, you're going to be the city growth one. You're going to be balanced still. But I find your lack of growth disturbing. Yay, a new era star, and we can now evolve. So if we look at our deeds, we've been ploughing through deeds left, right, and centre. Apart from a few deeds the AI has done, we have pretty much ticked every box. But we can now advance. So we can stay as the Umayyads, or we can start moving forwards as, say, the Venetians. Which focuses on money. Edo is focused on influence. Which is nice, per population on city. So that's going to be a lot of influence, but influence that you're very limited on. Spanish for expansion, so because we're on a new world, that might be an idea to get 3 points. Or we can just keep rushing tech. Which is probably what we're going to keep on doing.
Geography, cartography, algebra, optics, astronomy. It's a time of discovery and exploration. But discoveries are not made solely by traders and adventurers. Those who explore with ships and caravans would go in circles without
Yeah, I was looking at the Spanish one. Of course, it looks more LARPy, but again, the actual bonuses for the Spanish aren't very good.
famous for its ships.
Like, sure, plus faith,
I
but the
wonder if
faith won't
their
give you a
scrolls
star.
work with brushes and parchment, however, rather than pens.
Like, everything is being converted over to a completely different faith. So you're going to still be our agricultural hub. Actually, or not, we need to get some stability on you. This guy, how's that going? Can you... Oh, right, so we need influence. We need influence there. I'm being plundered by who? How big is this army? It's a big army and it's actually pretty advanced. So I will save up our influence to eat this city instead. And that's how we'll do it.
You have reached the end of an ideology axis. Of all the epithets other empires may use for you, wishy-washy won't be one of them.
Yeah, and I was ransacked, so that's a bit of a nuisance. Not the end of the world, but hopefully we can... Well, I didn't want to do that, but it's too expensive. Oh well. Hopefully we can get this up soon if I start focusing on influence. This fellow... Food is fine. Research, we've run out of things to build on terms of research. How's our stability? Our stability is garbage, so we need to focus on stability again. Stability, 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 stability. Okay, that's 5 stability up. Gunpowder warfare, yay! Does that mean I can start beating these assholes up?
You're at the end of an ideology axis? Well, there's something to be said for unswerving dedication to a cause.
How's the stability here? Not bad. I suppose we can build some more. Plus 23, minus 3 food, plus 2 stability. Yeah, that sounds like a good spot to put it in. Keep growing the pops. Oh, I can build a wonder. Show what wonders I want to build. Machu Picchu. Or St. Basil's Cathedral. Or the Taj Mahal. 50 plus 20 plus 50 money on Calm City. Plus 20 stability, plus 100 production. We're going to take Machu Picchu for the food. But I don't want to do that yet because I want to expand, so we have to wait. I want to turn this into an actual city. There we are.
You have reached the end of an ideology axis.
I know.
Of all the epithets other empires may use, the written word was previously available to a small, often wealthy elite. Now, knowledge and mass dissemination. But will it be of information or of propaganda?
So these fellows can start building up here. Here. Where's that other place I can build? Here. And we're going to build up some units when we're ready, so let's start building up some troops. Take that settler. That sounds like a good idea. And then the next aim will be to absorb this city. I need gunpowder. Is there any gunpowder? Do I have gunpowder? I do have gunpowder. That is good. Give me gunpowder. What about over here in this continent? Got any gunpowder? Get that gunpowder, sweet, sweet gunpowder. Still rushing science as per usual. Okay, it's going to cost me some money to upgrade this, but hey ho. It's worth it. Have some decent units. Athene's population has been lost, so we need to increase that population.
With 30 research quarters, I think we can safely say that the Library of Alexandria has been avenged.
I think you might be right. So food is once again the limiting factor. So once again we've got to build more food. I actually do balance policy. Over here. Ability is good, so let us focus on more tech. Not worth it. Plus free money on harbour, more influence. I'll take influence. And I'll take this. Build a harbour now, why not? Apart from the extremely low stability we still have in this area. I don't care about wonders. All I care about is getting these into bed.
You will be remembered as a leader among leaders, the first among equals.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that E-peen stroking. Athene's population is still getting limited now. +6 +2 +2 +3 +6 +10 +10. +10. Can you guys get over here without getting bullied by naughty boys? Suppose we'll find out. Build a harbour. 19 +7, yeah. In that new world. And Athena's population is still struggling. But that doesn't matter because we're about to absorb you into the fold, are we? Well, almost. In 2 turns we are.
You're at the end of an ideology axis? Well, there's something to be said for unswerving dedication to a cause.
Mm-hmm.
You have my ear. Tell me what you wish to discuss.
I don't want to discuss anything with you, I'll be honest with you. I want to absorb you.
You have assimilated an independent people. Every culture, greater or lesser, is a building block in a civilization.
And I'm running out of money, so it's going to be a balanced policy, and this is going to be a balanced policy. You're going to be my money policy. Not worth it. I don't have any market quarters, so not worth it. Though I do need to start making money, so we're going to start doing market quarters. What's a good spot to put you? Probably there. You recommend a harbour? You've already built a harbour, haven't you? Build a bank to start building finances up. No, he's still focusing on our science over here. +5, +18, we'll take that. And you're going to build a settlement here.
That's not possible. Reporting for lookout.
Still got some awful population loss down over here. Oh, okay, supply lines, siege cannons. Alright, attach this to this. There we are. Keep expanding. Conquer that new world. Why are you so unhappy? No, number of attached territory, that's probably why. Oh well. The new world, please. Keep letting me expand. What can we claim? Machu Picchu, why not? Why not?
Your empire is an enigma.
So you're going to be the financial hub. Who the hell are you? It's random marauders that's trying to fuck me up. Oh, it's these fellows up here somewhere.
15 farmers' quarters. Not sure if I should congratulate you or burp and rub my belly.
Of course, you can actually fight the battles properly, but why? Treat. I've already seen the new world. I'm already conquering it as we speak. Gotta find out where these guys live, so I can start schmoozing them. Yeah, we are slowly starting to, what do you call it? Grow far too quickly.
Five commons quarters. This should be a city as stable as bedrock.
Where are you? Where is the boss? We're losing troops in Babylon, so we need to build probably Machu Picchu. And then if we do this and click this, this, and this. In the meantime, we can keep looking for the Norman Aztecs.
Independent people
There you
possess
are.
Sophisticated customs, rights, language, and beliefs. I do hope you're going to treat them well.
And we'll get them to like us. Some starvation in Babylon. Yep. Build a thingy here. You can start exploring. Got to keep on putting down outposts and conquering as much as possible before the rest of these guys can. But I don't know what. I think these guys have been left behind massively, so I think we're fine now. Come back over here. Don't actually want you guys exploring. That was bad. 20 turns, we'll be happy as Larry. To continue to build Machu Picchu, and that should fix the starvation issue. So the settlers are going to go down over here and start settling down in the south. "18 turns. Now hopefully these guys will no longer attack us, which they're no longer appearing to do. Population gain, population lost. Population gain, population lost. Got to keep expanding to get those extra stars. Keep going. How many turns to get this sorted? Fine. And then starvation will no longer be a problem.
An admirable performance. The world-famous empire you have built puts you above all others today, and in the list of great leaders forever.
Thank you for that. Yes, we are steaming ahead rather well, aren't we? Don't worry, once Machu Picchu is built, we shouldn't have too many problems anymore. Good, you're pretty peaceful. You can start auto exploring. And now I'm going to save up my influence. 4 turns. Two turns. 1 turn. One turn. There we have it. Machu Picchu built.
Machu Picchu could be described as an imperial center for an empire that cares deeply about agriculture and has no fear of heights.
But food is still a problem. So we can start mass building food. What about Athene? How's your food doing? You're bottlenecked as well. And you're nearly absorbed. New world, yes. Which is more? I'm gonna attach you there. Attach you there. What did the Edo-Japanese feel about me? Suspicious. Okay. I would be suspicious too if you saw how excessive I was getting. I'm not going to trade Nam. Yeah, I'll accept a non-aggression pact.
Pleased to accept your.
Because you are woefully behind me now, and I can just keep growing excessively large. So Hansong is
Where
starving.
have you been?
Grain silo. More food.
Do something clever today.
I'll
Save
take that
some-
non-aggression pact. And Athene is still losing its pops. There's nowhere good to put it. More science? I mean, yeah, I'll do more science. +1, +1, +1, +18, I'll take that. +15, I'll take that. Especially because your pops are still going up, which is nice. Pretty sure you're under the water? Oh no, you're not. It just looked a bit buggy. You're rapidly growing to the point of breaking. No point absorbing this then.
You intrigue me. Let's talk.
That is interesting.
Yeah, whatever gives me money.
Reaching the end of an ideology axis isn't extremist. Think of it as being focused, yes? Very goal-oriented.
So much crap. So much crap to profit off of. Fine is still letting the team down. What is that, Fine? Like, I've been building nothing but food for you for the past decade. But hey-oh.
Whether or not the world goes hungry, with 30 farmers' quarters, this city certainly won't.
You'd think that, wouldn't you? But food is not good. And a new Aerostar. So the final Aerostar, I probably don't want to be science really, because I'm one science away, and I can keep going. There we are. And a new wonder can be built as well. But we're not going to do that. So we can transcend again. We can go up to Zulus to be militarist. So we can completely go a 360-degree change. Siamese for production, the Russians for territory, Mexicans for agriculture. But you know how it is. You want to keep going up. Science.
The world gets larger, the cities expand, buildings reach higher, and roads stretch longer. And yet, the world gets smaller as bridges unite lands. Towns congest, and railroads bring distant goods to the doorstep. Anything seems possible in this wondrous future. Though as humankind grows, the planet itself appears to shrink.
No, we are the French.
Born in the great era of Enlightenment revolutions, will the French live up to their best or launch another round of terrors?
A new civic, which is nice, but not really the main objective. Where to build you? Build you there then, even though it's going to take away some food from me. And you can just keep being the food guy. If I keep on trying to keep your food above level. Whereas you were supposed to be my money printer, but I don't think it's gone like that. What to build you? Why not? That gives me a bit of everything. Still nothing. But we are on turn... what turn are we on? We're on turn 4 and 45, so we still got a long way to go. Are you looking forward to get absorbed? No, not really. The effort I'm putting into getting you to work. You give me money as well, I don't see why not. I don't see why not. As we become the traders of the world. Nerdopolis, yeah. Definitely Nerdopolis. That should be your food. Hopefully getting better.
You have reached the end of an ideology axis. Of all the epithets other empires may use for you, wishy-washy won't be one of them.
Food is not too bad here anymore, so I can stop and I can stop. And I can stop. Over here. Our exposition holes, again, we're exploding, basically. We're exploding out. There's no point absorbing you yet because we can't get another city. And that's most of the New World in our sphere of influence. We can even do even more, or we can just... Let's do this. Let's get some food back up. Let's build some harbours. Oh, we've got some starvation here. Okay, we'll fix that. And then let us build some happy places for the boys.
You're at the end of an ideology axis? Well, there's something to be said for unswerving
Finally, the
dedication
pops
to
are
a
growing
cause.
here as well. But not as much as I would like. I haven't even tried delogging. I couldn't even bother to delog. Once again, the pops are fucked. But I don't think anyone is anywhere near us. Wait a second. What sort of fat nation are you?
Wondering if you're a
You're on the
partner
early
or-
modern era. What does that mean?
Where have you been?
Whatever is this? This is in the industrial era. What's before it? Okay, we're good. They're still far behind us. I was going to say, like, Jesus. Jeebus. Agriculture, money. Let's just start building districts. Okay, next turn. Next turn. And then more research. The starvation here getting frustrating. How to fix that starvation over here as well. So that's going to go here, and that's going to go over here, and that should fix the starvation.
Reaching the end of an ideology axis isn't extremist.
Fine's back to being...
Think of it as being focused, yes? Very goal-oriented.
Our pops are too big. That's the problem here. Our pops are far too big. I could absorb you, but this will lower my... That's give me penalty, so it's not a good idea. Damn you, Athene! Once I get 39k gold, I'm gonna fuck you up. Balance policy, balance policy, balance policy. Yeah, keep all this balanced. We can just click through this now. I think we've got such a what do you call it? Such a progress now. We're pretty much over where we need to be.
National control
I took that for the
of
food.
products and resources, paradoxically, could provide more freedom and autonomy. You have reached the end of an ideology axis.
So you keep telling me, game.
Of all the epithets other empires may use for you, wishy-washy won't be one of them.
But our town is slowly becoming much more modern. Yeah, give me that. Sugar. Plus 25 food, I'll take that. Anything what gives me growth. How are you doing food-wise? Good, you're back to not being so awful. Might be an idea to build harbours for you. Build some more harbours. Harbours are actually pretty good late game. I'm going to remember to build more harbours. $15, $17, $19. There we are. Mechanisation, that's jolly good. Electricity's next. Good, we don't need this or this or this. Your function now was to be my money maker, so make me money. Make me all the money. That's your function. Over here, what's your function? You were to make money as well, weren't you?
Reaching the end of an ideology axis.
Yes,
isn't
I know.
extremist. Think of it as being focused, yes? Very goal-oriented.
Food. That's once again the great limiter. To start building harbours. Everyone's afraid of me now because of how excessively powerful I am. Yay, agrarian star for pop growth. And we're almost on to tech as well. We won't be able to expand anymore, which is unfortunate.
Lightning in a bottle. This new power will impact every aspect of society, from public safety to industrial production. Change is coming.
Of course. And then once this is done, we can do some more research. We can do more research. I think I'm going to save up my influence to see if I can build another wonder. And hog all the wonders. And the pops are slowly spiraling out of control. $53 pops. Yeah, harbours are better once you've got the right enough construction and the food. Because harbours actually have a potential to give you stuff of value. So Headsong. Can't build any more harbours off you. That's going to cost 62. Got no choice, they're going to start building food. I don't need playhouse. I reckon we'll actually get the gold one soon as well. For merchant stars.
Reaching the end of an ideology
Yes.
isn't extremist. Think of it as being focused, yes? Very goal-oriented.
I need one more territory. Which will be up here. So if I get one of these guys and send him up here, they can do that. So who's starving? It's Sasson, isn't it? Yeah, so your effort is to get more food. You can see that it's completely different from the other Civ. Like in Civ, I'm not actually really paying much attention to the enemy, to the other nations. Once I knew they couldn't really invade me very well, my main effort is just rushing the stars. Influence or food. You're fine. You're moving up over here to build a new territory so I can absorb it. I can upgrade these guys because they do need to be upgraded. The line infantry, but there's no point doing it. Hansong, you're still struggling. So you need to build a territory here for me. So I can get that next star. Hansong's still losing pops.
If fame could be purchased.
You can build war science. In this disgusting, ever-growing, disgusting wall of civilization. Actually, come over there and then sleep. You can build even more food-related stuff, yeah. Let's keep going big.
Research quarters. It's a city so full of specialists that nobody can understand anyone else.
Mm-hmm. New era star. New era star. What's the next era stars? I need a few more research slots and then an agrarian star or a building star, which we'll get automatically as we progress.
You have reached the end of an ideology axis. Of all the epithets other empires may use for you, wishy-washy won't be one of them.
Look at our research tree. Still got loads of research left. There's no point reading for all of it.
How do you do? How do you do?
Are they really? So end in 60 towns. So even with all of this, we won't get to the modern period. Like, we have been sweating, and yet we still are nowhere near the end period. Like, we have almost all the map, all the resources, yet we still cannot get to the end period. Like, heck, we're nowhere near in terms of like our science and that, and we have been pushing science the entire time. Uh, Industrial action. Produce at least 500 industry per turn. Yeah. I have definitely been doing that. You can build... why not? Build this. And then just keep making money. Yeah, this is ridiculous. No wars in this level, in this game. Oh, oil well, yes. And then you can build whatever you like, really. I'm not fussed. Population growth, more science. And a star. So it feels like you interact with the AI a lot less. Unless they declare war on you early, or you're connected to the same island. In the previous game, I lost because I didn't build my army because I was next to a militarist. But in this game, if you're not really connected, there's not much you will be doing with the rest of the AI for a large portion of the game.
You are leaving the greatest mark of any empire upon the history of the world and the face of the planet.
What's the next step? So I got to get 7 more techs or 3 more pops. And there we go. Enter a new era. Choose now. So I can choose the Australians for production, the Brazilians, the Chinese for money, merchant Egyptians for aesthetics, the Indians for aesthetics, Japanese for science, Swedes for science. What does the Swedes give us? +1 per district in all cities, +3 on research, or +20% on all technology cost when researching. Which is just downright better. But it does give you pollution, because this does not. And go Americans or the Soviets for territory. Or we can just transcend as the French. I think we're just going to go the Japanese.
The human mind, creative, imaginative, and ingenious at turning every single human invention to its most violent end. We pray or hope, looking forward to a future which, with luck, will be counted in millennia, not in months.
Job done.
Knowledge and technology form the backbone of the culture. But where would the world be without sushi and manga?
So we're slowly growing, like we've gone to the futurist period, and we've still got the old amphitheatres of old. So I do like the fact, I do have moaned about the game consistently, but I do like how things progress. You still have the, if you actually bother to look in and enjoy, you can see the change of the old versus the new, and the old monuments and the old good buildings being replaced with the new unique buildings. I'm going to add pollution. Pollution. Let's end the game to get pollution. I've already got an error star, great. How far will you push? Japanese If I knew how to send a mission to Mars, I would. So I can claim these fellows. For more fame. Or we can just not. And I don't see why we would. unless there is a science one.
Reaching the end of an ideology axis isn't extremist. Think of it as being focused, yes? Very goal-oriented.
Why not? Why not claim it at the very least? And then this guy can build it on another mountain. There you are. And then we can add everyone to get rid of it. No, we'll add no one. We'll add no one now because it's too expensive to build. We just claimed it for future reference. In the meantime, let's build more science and production and just whack up the pollution. Where's the population loss? Burp. Okay. I suspect because I have not attached these guys. Become a city and then attach this to you. There you are. And then you can just chill. I mean, what else do you want to build? Because this game is broken now. We've actually broken this game. You're still focusing on money, aren't you? Yeah. So let's keep that money going. There's just too much going on now. 500%, so 30 turns, and we didn't even get to the end.
Whatever you intend to produce, with 15 makers' quarters, I guarantee there will be a lot of it.
Separ, you're going to absorb, you're going to start helping construction on that. So you can see that's another big jarring thing about this game, is even though it's quite beautiful with the change of climate and the change of history and the change of the setting as old buildings get replaced by new, it's not balanced. Like the tech, you won't progress as far enough down the tech to actually see everything, even on like the long games. Yeah, building an airport, why not? As we continue just to build up our pops ridiculously.
The first airport promises international travel, intercourse between nations. Might I rephrase that?
And then we can just build more shit. A late game is, and 4x game is always the fucking worst, and this is no exception. There we are. Aerostar done. 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 Money's good, pop's good, no one's starving. 20 turns away before the game ends. Of course, you can continue on if you so desire, but why? For what purpose? And you know what? We're just going to absorb this city in as well. Or not, because that city has disappeared. We're going to move over here. And there we are. Come on. A full game. Slowly, the best nation was over here, but he got left behind quite quickly. And fine. Oh, come on. Yay, another star. Population loss where? Alright, so once again, you're back on the agenda to get more food. There we are.
A permanent settlement on another continent. Quite the globe-spanning imperialist you've become.
Mm-hmm.
You have unlocked the Research Institute. It will not merely provide additional answers, but open up a whole range of ever more perplexing questions.
Wonderful. Let's upgrade these guys. Why not? See what they look like. Line infantry. So again, this is a jarring thing. It's to the same effect in Civ as well. I always said a jarring thing. There's a lot of little things wrong with this game in terms of what really makes it rather awkward to play. Is that even though you're in the modern era of rocket artillery and things like that, technologically you are nowhere near the modern era. You're actually back in the industrial era. Maybe still in the enlightened era. And this is how the game is coming to an end, where you are in the first, like you are producing airplanes, potentially producing rockets, but you still got line infantry, which is rather disconcerting. Bear in mind that I've spent the entire game hard researching. Whereas, of course, if I was playing a Civ game, this would be much better. Meanwhile, either you rocket ahead or the AI rockets ahead, and in this game, I've rocketed ahead. Because of my starting situation, which I refer back to the starting situation, effectively can mean how easy the game goes. Not how easy a game goes, whether or not you win or you lose, because of how the game is meant about being a race. If you don't establish early, if you don't get a good settlement like I did, if you end up being placed with another nation and the AI has its own settlements, then you are in a really bad spot and you're probably going to lose and you're going to have to restart the game. But one more turn away from ending the game. And that's another thing, you don't really end the game on this, you just run out at 600 turns and that's that done. With a rather good growth, but the key thing with this game is the constant expansion. You've got to be constantly going forward until you can eventually speedball like I did. And let's end the game.
How will humankind remember the empire you have created and its remarkable achievements? For it is yours that has left the greatest mark on the endless story of humankind.
Yep. So I think I didn't even go to war with the Zulu. Oh, yes, I went to war with the Mongols. That's the end of this Strategy Sunday review of Humankind. I think it should probably be called Human Race because you're actually racing through each culture or each era, and it gives it sells the idea of nations potentially stagnating in the next era or being held back in the next era, but in reality you're all running through to the next era as quickly as possible to get as many stars as possible, to get as many perks and buffs as possible. And if you are last to the picking a culture or civilization, you are in fact going to end up with a snowball effect where you keep on picking civilizations that don't synergize with your own nation, and you will progressively begin to lose. So, for example, if I was going hard science and then I was last of the party to pick a new culture and I had to pick militarist, then I would end up going back, basically being hamstrung and being at a weaker position than the rest of the other nations. It is that's just one of the things. The other issue is the jarringness by you can be in the first 21st century but still have line infantry. The fact that you can culturally progress or your eras can progress, but depending on what you're focusing, for example, if you focus on aesthetics there or ideas or edicts or economy, you can still have backwards infantry, backwards tech, but because you've got all the stars, you'll be in 21st century, which is mad. I think what they should have done is to improve the idea of picking of golden ages or ideas of civilizations doing well in the first stages and then doing bad in the later stages. I think if civilizations had penalties if they did extremely well in one stage, for example, if they were very strong militarists and they conquered loads of provinces, or they got to the first next step of the civilization tree, they would have a penalty, for example, stagnation or lower, more production cost or lower research, and that would show the sort of infighting, maybe a scripted civil war, something like that. So you would end up being stagnant in the next civilization, and then you could come back in a civilization after, and so on and so forth. So you could have that constant sort of catch-up mechanic, or the idea that cultures that are slower but put more effort in can, in the long term, have more reward. Sadly, that just didn't happen, and it's effectively just a human race, not humankind, which just makes it very disappointing. In terms of things like the edicts and the tech and the construction, it's all very shallow, but again, Civ 5 building is rather shallow, but the religion and the edicts are even shallower, meaning that compared to, say, Civ 5 or Civ 6's use of ideology, you're just picking the stat which is better for you and not introducing new game mechanics or potentially honing your civilization. This leads to this clash of ideas, and the idea that the execution is not as good as the idea of the game. The idea of the game was very impressive and interesting, but in terms of execution, it was rather poor, leading to this jumbled mess where you can't even finish and you can't even get to the end stage of the game. This is unfortunate, but it is what it is. So I would give this a 7.5 out of 10. It's nice to have a bit of competition, but it's not as good as Civ, and I'll just go back and play Civ. The mindset of this game is racing for stars. Not everything else is irrelevant. Chase the stars, and sadly, that leads to a not very specialist, rather wide approach where you just try and expand everywhere as quickly as possible. But hey, that was that stream. We will probably have dinner. Well, actually, we'll probably end the stream and stream something else now. I don't know. I'll have to check. But that was Civ 5. Oh well, that's not. That was Humankind, or as I like to call it, Human Race, which it should have been called because it's a racing game. It's a checkerboard game where you race to get to the end and get as many stars as possible. But that was that. Thanks for watching, gentlemen. I will upload this to YouTube at a later date. and then look forward to either Dead Space or another game. I haven't decided yet. So adieu and have a good one. Goodbye.